Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can I get a signal maybe from you, Alex?
Yes,
That
yes, we can
okay?
hear you very well.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, I would like to thank you for joining the AIKO Gen 3 lunch. Um, my name is Mohammed Al Shroof. I joined AIKO in the summer of 2023. So it's been almost 2 years now, and I am part of the product and solution team. And today we will be talking about the Generation 3. We call it Infinite Series. So I would say this series came as a result of a clear strategy of AIKO, because we always try to deliver the high power panels to the market with high technology. And this product came as a result of this clear strategy from day one, always to provide high efficient panels to the industry. So these panels basically have ultimate efficiency, and they have also intelligent technology, pure aesthetic, as we used to provide a nice and beautiful panels to the industry, and also with a super strength and durability. So we will be now seeing these features and try to dive in and see also a comparison between our products and the regular products in the market. So here I am referring to, let's say, a standard 54 white backsheet product. Here you can see the length, the standard dimension of the panel, 1762 length with a width of 1134. So the Infinite panel will have a power of 485 watts. So we have an advantage of 15 watt against the Gen 2 products. And if we compare it to the highest TopCon panels in the market, which is 450, we have an advantage of 35 watt. So we are increasing the power output around 8%. And this development will have a huge advantage on the performance and on the generation of the solar system. And for sure, the end users, the customers, they can enhance their financial benefits. So let's say this is the baseline of AIKO strategy here, always to increase the power output of the panels, and this will have a great benefits for the whole industry. And the question is how AIKO managed to increase the power output in Gen 3 compared to Gen 2. So basically, we have done this by doing two improvements. The first one did the bus ribbons on the back side, and this increased the power generation area. We can see here in this video how we managed to do this. As you know, this panel and all our panels, they are based on the ABC technology. ABC stands for all back contact. So we don't have any fingers or bus bars on the front side. Everything happens from the back side of the cell. So this kind of improvement was easier to us to be done, to be implemented, because we have everything from the back side, and just folding the bus, or in other words, we call it the string collectors on the backside, was easier compared to the traditional panels. And in fact, the TopCon panels, they can do it, but they have a challenge. That the challenge comes because they have fingers and bus bars from both sides, and then they need to manage to jump from the front side to the back side to have a continuity in the circuit. And in order to do this, they need to leave a gap. They can't do it directly. If they do it directly, this will cause a stress on the cells, on the edge of the cells, and this will have a high potential to have micro cracks. And micro cracks is a very bad scenario for the solar panels, because it will affect the performance of the solar panels and the system, the entire system as well. So this is the first improvement we have, the bus bars, the bus ribbons. And the second one, we eliminated the gaps between the cells, or in other words, we call it the overlap welding. And this also enhanced and increased the generation area of the PV panel. And if this will be also done for the traditional technology, actually this can be done. And the first one who did it, it's called the shingle technology. So they use conductive adhesive material in order to do the connection between the cells. But this has a question mark in terms of reliability, because if you have a adhesive connection and you have like summer and winter, this thermal cycle will affect the connectivity and the performance. It was realized that the performance dropped after 3-4 years. So I think the industry is not considering this approach anymore. And let's say for the other traditional panels like TopCon, if they would like also to do it, they have the challenge that again they have the metallization, the bus bars from the front and back side, and doing this kind of Z-shape welding from front side to the back side will cause a stress on the cells, and also the potential of micro cracks will be high. Another also feature will increase the performance, which we have it also in Gen2, the partial shading optimization. And we will be reviewing this video together to see how we have this this development or this improvement compared to TopCon panels in the market. So the experiment is simple. We connect AIKO panel, which you can see on the left hand side, with a water pump and also with a voltmeter. And we do the same for another TopCon panel. And we leave them under the sun and see the performance of both of them. And what we start doing, applying equivalent shading for both panels. And after we have shaded two half cells, you can see a significant drop on the TopCon panel, but AIKO panel is reducing some volts, but it's very, very low, very, very small compared to the TopCon one. And when we add another also two shadings, we can see the TopCon panel is almost dead. It's not producing any voltage or any power, while our panel is still producing something around 65% of the nominal power. And this is, I would say, due to the improvement we have done on the cell structure level. And in our case, when one cell is shaded, you basically lose that shaded cell, but the bypass diode will not kick in and eliminate the entire string of these group of cells. Also, we can see here another video showing basically the same idea, but let's say with the different scenarios here. So here we can see the chimney, how it affects the panel. So this is basically AIKO panel. When a few cells are shaded, so you lose these only shaded cells. But for the top cone panel, the bypass diodes will kick in, they will trigger, and they will eliminate basically the entire panel. And here's also the tree shading. So again, the free part here, you can still utilize it and get some energy out of it. But for TopCon, two bypass diode will kick in and you lose basically two-thirds of the panel. And this is also another also scenario for the shading. So the impact of the shading with AIKO panels is always minimum. And also I would like to let you think about the impact not only on the panel level, also the entire string, because this panel is connected to, let's say, another maybe 6 or 8 or 10 panels, and this drop will be affecting the entire string. Here down you can see some cases we have done as a comparison between ABC panels and TopCon. So for this case, on a almost 2 months monitoring, we have realized we have an advantage of 7% more production. And for such a tree shading environment, we have a 12%. And in this case, if you have such a fixed object close to the panel, you get 50%. For sure, we don't advise to install the panels close to a shading object because this will affect the performance and causing hotspot over the lifetime. But let's say in some real applications, you have a fixed chimney or you have some skylights on the commercial buildings, then this kind of shading is hard to be avoided. It's inevitable. It's there. So for such cases, the partial shading optimization will be a great addition for the owner of the system, and it will also increase the performance. You will get more energy and also enhance the financial benefits. Another also feature we have, it's the high aesthetic. Here you can see the difference between the blackness level between ABC and other TopCon panels in the market. We have collected these photos from our partners. Maybe one of you already sent it to us. And I would say that ABC doesn't have any fingers, any bus bars, or any cell spacing in the Gen 3. And this also will enhance the beauty of the panel. And maybe the end user, the residential end user, like these kind of feature. For the C&I, they most likely focus on the power output and they prefer to go with the white backsheet panels. But for the residential, this is a great development for them. Another also feature is the high reliability. So what we have seen in the market, most of the TopCon panels, they use a double glass panel, double glass like from the front and back side, but they use 1.6 millimeter glasses. And we use 2 millimeter glass. And this has an advantage during the shipment of the panels, during the installation, because during the installation sometimes you apply some weight for your body when you are doing the clamps, and also for hailstorms. So this is a great advantage in order to protect the panel on the long term. Also, just again highlighting the welding technology we are using, it's all the way from the backside because we have a back contact technology and we don't have such a Z-shape welding like TopCon here. And this kind of movement from the front side to the back side, um, if you have any stress on the glass because of the wind, because of the snow, and this will be a potential here to have a micro crack. It's like a small tiny crack could start at the edge of the cell, but by time it will be increasing and causing a hot spot. And this is always an issue in the solar industry. Also, we don't use silver anymore in our panels. We use copper instead, and the copper is stronger and is not causing, I would say, um, any micro crack on the long term. So it's stronger than the silver. Another also advantage we have, it's let's say in case of shading, if you have a shading or a dirt on the panel, this will cause a hot spot and temperature of the cell will be increasing by time. And in our case, because we have the partial shading optimization, this has an improvement here on the temperature of the cell. So in this video, we can see also an experiment where we shade one half cell for 1 hour, and then we see the temperature of the TopCon panel. This is almost 147 degrees. And for the AIKO panel, it's 100 degrees. And this also will increase the safety of the solar panel and for the entire roof, for the entire roof of the owner. And all I would like to highlight also that all the double glass panels of AIKO are holding fire class A, and this is could be a key to win some projects with high, let's say, regulations and high requirements. And this is also an added point to increase the safety of the project. Another also two features here will enhance and increase the returns of the solar system. We have a lower temperature coefficient. It's minus 0.26 percentage per degree. So compared to TopCon, it's 0.29. And here you can see, for example, if we're talking about a temperature of 60 degrees, this is the operation temperature of the cells of the panel, not the ambient temperature. This temperature can easily be reached for, let's say, for the panels when they are installed on the metal sheets for the industrial building. And for such case, the performance of AIKO panels will be increased by 1.1 percentage. And maybe for some countries in southern part of Europe, they make more benefits out of this, like in Italy and Spain, because of the high temperature there compared to other countries, and for example, in Nordic. Another also feature is the lower degradation. So in the first year, ABC technology has a similar degradation like TopCon, it's 1%, but the annual degradation from the second year till let's say till 30 years. Let's say this is the operational time of the solar system. We have 0.35 percentage, which is 0.05 percentage less than TopCon. And here, if we look to the last year, we have an advantage of something around 1.5 percentage more power. So the reduction of the power will be less by time, and this will be increasing the generation, and again have a positive impact on the financial benefits of the solar system. Another also here case I would like to highlight, like we have seen some some markets in Europe, they have, we call it a dynamic electricity price. So dynamic electricity price, when the price of electricity is not fixed, like they define the grid companies, the providers of this electricity, they define the electricity price based on the time window of the day. And as you know, there's two peaks, one in the morning and one in the evening, and they try to increase the electricity price in these two windows. And by using efficient panels, like in this case ABC panels, you can basically increase the DC AC ratio, and this will give you a chance um, to generate more electricity during the day, and especially in the morning time and on the evening time, because basically you can get more energy out of the solar panels and the inverter will kick in earlier in the morning. And by doing this, basically you can generate more electricity during the high electricity price time and accumulate more profit. So I would say it's a win-win case for the end user and the end user of the solar system. Here we can see the panels we have in the Gen3, the Infinite series. So the first one you can see on the left side, it's the full black dual glass panel. It will have a power up to 475, and I think by the end of this year we're gonna reach also 480 or 485. But this the 475 will be available by the distributors in your countries, and um, you can order it soon. So it has an advantage of 10 watt more than the second generation, and 25 watt more than the Topcon. And the second one will be the full black monoglass. It's the same power and the same advantages we have against the other panels. The third one will be the dual glass white backsheet. This is also coming with the Fire Class A. The power will be 480, and the power increase will be 10 watt against our Gen 2 panels and 25 watt against the Topcon. And the last one will be the monoglass white backsheet. The power will be 485, and the power will be increasing 10 watt against our Gen 2 and 30 watt against Topcon. So you can see that this series always offering and providing efficient panels with a high power, and this also will help the end user to make more benefits. And we're gonna see this in the case studies, because we did also a comparison against Topcon on the residential and on the commercial also scenarios. And I would like also to highlight that all these panels, they have the same features we have in Gen 2: partial shading optimization, high temperature restriction, and micro crack resistance. Here's the case study. This is like a typical case study for residential segment. The system size can be bigger or smaller, depends on the countries. So I have realized, like for example, in UK, they have very small systems, maximum 500 kilowatt peak. This is, let's say, the regular system, sometimes even smaller. The same case in France. But some countries like in Germany or like in Sweden, the system can easily exceed the 10 kilowatt peak. So this is, let's say, a typical case study where we install like 20 panels, and we can see that with AIKO panels, AIKO always we indicate for the AIKO parameters with the orange color. So with AIKO solution, and by installing the same number of panels, so we're talking about covering the same space on the roof, the system DC output, or the system size, was increased by 8%. And what does it mean when you increase the system size? Basically, you can generate more energy So in this case, you can do 15.8% more than the TOPCon solution. And this will be shorten the payback time period to 3 years. And also you can do more benefits on the lifetime of the project. So this amount, the 8,800 something, is more amount money benefits you can do more than TOPCon, I would say here. And the only thing that you need to consider that with AIKO solution, you need to invest some money more. So in this case, you invest 800 euro more, but you have a faster payback time. You have more life, more money on the long term. So what you basically do here, you invest 800 more money at the beginning, like this is the capex of the project at the beginning, instead of the TOPCon solution. But if you look on the long term of the solar system, you get 8,800 euros compared to TOPCon. So again, it's like a win-win solution for the end user. And maybe the installers sometimes asking, why should I, buy expensive panel? It's and anyway, I'm not doing a benefit out of it, because the end user is selling the energy to the grid, and I'm just selling I'm selling the system. So I would say, like with AIKO panels, normally you can also increase the DC capacity you sell to the customer, and you can also increase the revenue you get. Maybe this concept will be more clear when we jump to the commercial case. But think about it also, if you would like to always think about saving on the panel, you can find also very cheap panels like PERC technology in the market. It's always good to offer to your customers the let's say the high tech and the new technology, the available new technology in the market. This is the commercial case, and when we're talking about the commercial segment, we have let's say two parties. The first one, the installers or the EPCs, you guys basically. And the idea here that with with ABC, with AIKO panels, you can again you can increase the DC system, because these guys, like, they have limited space on the roof, and they will be installing a fixed amount of panels, let's say. And then with AIKO panels, you can increase the DC output with 7.8 percentage. So in this specific case, we're talking about 1,500 panels from TOPCon, and another also 1,500 panel from ABC. This is the baseline of the comparison. And what you can do, if you consider a fixed price per kilowatt peak that you sell to the end user, which is in this case like 750 euro per kilowatt peak. This can be more or less, depends on the complexity of the mounting system and the operation of the system. But let's say 750 per kilowatt peak. This will be the revenue, the amount of money you will get from the customer. And if we look to the cost of the system, the cost will be different, because AIKO, let's say, panels a bit more expensive, and the system size is a bit bigger. But if you look to the balance of system, the rest of that, the mounting system, like the steel structure, the cabling, the labor, if you are using some cranes or some if you're using cranes and some operation material. Sorry for that. Yeah, it's just an emergency alarm I got on my phone. Yeah. So if you're using for the balance of system, it will be more or less the same. Maybe the difference you need to consider, if you want to have the same DC-AC ratio, maybe because you have more DC capacity with the ABC solution, maybe you need to add a small inverter here. but the balance will be very similar. And if we take out this cost out of the revenue, this is the amount of money you sell of the entire system, this will be the profit here you can see in the last column. So basically, with ABC, you can do more profit compared to TopCon solution. When we look to, let's say, to the owner of the system, or the investor, or sometimes the owner who owns the PV system, these guys, they consider the PV system as a business case or as a money generator, because they do financial feasibility study, and they most of the time they refer to the financial indicators in order to take their decision. And it's like the idea here is basic, because the product they are selling back to the electricity, to the grid, is the energy, the kilowatt hours. So the more kilowatt hours they can produce and generate, then the more money they can do. So for this case, for this comparison, the ABC solution improved the IRR by 1%, and the payback time, or the break-even point, got shortened by 4 months. And this is, you can see the annual energy, the extra green energy they can produce. It's 85 megawatt hour, and in terms of money, they will do 360,000 euro compared to Topcon. So it's always again good to the owner of the system, in order to have the efficient panels, because this will increase his benefits. Actually, I'm done with the presentation, but I would like also to show you another document we have prepared, and we're thinking to share this document with you. It's basically containing the same to pass the idea to the audience from your side. So here you can see at the top the four panels we talked about, and the power, and these are the unique selling points. Maybe here we can have a look uh, a diagram bit, because using 188 by 182, and the thickness of the wafer we are using is for the metallization. We, on the other hand, Topcon, they have on both sides the metallization, and we are silver free. While they use silver, also we don't have any front bus bars or cell gaps and string. Focus on the module level. We have a mono and double glass, uh, we can see if causing corrosion by time. So we see keen to move toward.
Sorry, you were frozen and people didn't see your last slides. We didn't hear you. Can you switch to mobile and try again?
Okay, sorry. You mean in which slides? When I moved from one page to another?
The last two slides or so.
Okay, let me share my screen one more time. Hopefully gonna work this time. Alex, can you tell me if you can see
Yes, we can see
my
and we can
screen?
hear you again. Thank you.
Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, the idea of this document, I'm not sure if when you lost me, but yeah, we thought it's good to prepare also such a document and share it afterward with you. This basically will help you in order to pass the idea to your customer. Why, for example, they go with AIKO solution. So it's the same content. I have gone through the presentation, but it's this is very brief and it's we think it could be handy for you. So basically, at the beginning, you can see the panels we have in the Gen 3, showing the power and the efficiency and the dimensions as well. And then below, the unique selling points, starting with the high power, the high technology, the high aesthetic, and then the reliability or durability, and then the high returns. On the second page, it's the case studies. I have just run through the presentation, one for the residential segment and other two for the commercial, one from the APC perspective, the other one from the owner of the PV system. And in the last page of this document, like a comparison, one on the technology level against TopCon and another one on the panel level. So maybe we can go through this quickly. So if we look here on the size, on the cell size. So TopCon, they're using this size 188 by 182. We use 192 by 182. And in terms of thickness, we have 5 micro meter advantage here. We don't have also any metallization on the back side. On the front side, everything is done on the back side, but Topcon they have from both sides. Also, we don't have bus bars, cell gaps, or string collectors. And if we look to the module level, we have mono and double glass, black and white. What we see in the industry, most of the TopCon industry, they are offering the double glass panels. A few of them are offering the mono glass. This is maybe the issue of the reliability of having a TopCon mono glass panel, because after time the water moisture could go inside and this could cause corrosion. So the industry have realized this issue, let's say in the last couple of years, 2 years, and they decided to move to the double glass panels. Um, Dimensions the same. Looking to the power, we have an advantage, as I said, at least 25 and 30 watt, 25 watt and 30 watt for the white backsheet. And I think by the end of this year, this will be also increasing 35 to 40 watt difference. And this is the efficiency. We have an advantage as well. Lower degradation, lower temperature coefficient, and also the unique features we have, like partial shading optimization and higher temperature restriction. This is for the hotspot we have discussed, and also the micro crack resistance. So I think I'm done with my part. I would like to thank you all for attending this session, and maybe we can go through some questions. I can see in the Dropbox. Okay, these just comments. Yes, we can provide you with the distributors, our partners in UK. Basically, if you are still on the call, Golam, yeah, Golam, he's asking from UK. You can get these panels from CGen, UK Green Tech as well, and Triple Solar, and I think Midsummer as well, because I'm familiar with the UK market. But for the other guys, you can get in touch, I would say, with the sales guy in your region. And um, I'm not sure. Like you can also send an email to us if you don't know the sales guys in your region from AIKO, and we'll try to connect you with the right partner from your side, from in your country, in order to get these panels. Yes, Gen 2 and Gen 3, both generations will be in production. This is an answer for Sebastian. So we're gonna keep Gen 2 and Gen 3. Yeah, we think this is the approach for now. There will be a slight increase in the price for Gen 3, but it will be reasonable, I would say, because it has an advantage on the power. A good question here from Gillis Phillips. The question says, the partial shading optimization we're having in our panels, does it eliminate the need of having optimizers? So just to maybe to answer this question properly, we need to understand that these optimizations are completely different. The optimization we do is on the cell level. That's why we call it a partial shading optimization. What does it mean? It means if one cell is shaded or two cells are shaded, you lose the performance of these shaded cells, but the rest of the cells in that block of these cells still producing energy. But on the other, on the, let's say, on the optimize, what does the optimizer do when you have one cell or two cells shaded? Basically, the bypass diode will kick in with I'm talking about the top solution, and the current will drop, and then the optimizer will adjust the amps and reduce the voltage in order to eliminate the impact on the entire string of the panels. But anyway, you will lose the entire part of let's say of that shaded spot, and so it's hard to compare them like apples to apples. But I would say that the ideal design you could do if you have severe shading, to have AIKO panels with optimizers. In this case, you can boost the performance of the system. But for minor shading and not heavy shading, I would say, you can just use the partial shading optimization with our panels, and you can reduce the cost of the optimizers, and also think about the operation maintenance you need for the optimizers, because normally after 5 to 7 years you need to change them, and just think about the hassle of taking the clamps out, taking the panels, the labor cost, all of that. Keep in your mind. So hopefully this has answered the question of the optimizers. Yeah, a question here came from Boris, he's asking about the improvement we have done between Gen 2 and Gen 3. I think we have discussed this during the presentation. It seems you have joined a bit late, but basically the idea was of Gen 3 to increase the power output of the panels, and we have done this by folding the string collectors on the backside, and by doing this, we increased the cell area on the front side. And also the second improvement we have done, we eliminated the gaps between the cells. So by doing these two things, we increased 10 to 15 watts on the same panel dimension. One question about one question about the connectors we have. So all these panels will come with with the Stobli Evo 2 connectors, the original ones. So I think this is the standard for Europe. Um, Everyone is looking for Stobli Evo 2 connectors. So no doubt, no worries here. So the availability of the Gen 3. So I would say by end of May, Gen 3 will be available here in Europe because we kind of finished them, or they are now in the production. 2 months, let's say, to ship it from China to here. So end of May, maximum beginning of June, they will be available in the market. So this is the timeline for the availability. Okay, one question. Are we going also to produce big panels like 72 cells panels? So it will be already in our radar and on our plan. It will be in the future, but not for now. So we started with the 54 cells panels as we discussed before. So, but not for now. But just to make, let's say, the idea here. Easy, because we know the power output we have in our Gen 272 is 655. So you can add above on that 15 watt more. So this could be, let's say, the power output of the Gen 3 on the 72 cells panel. No, not yet. It's not available in Spain. It will be, I think, as I said, in end of May. I think Amara is there. But anyway, let's say for all the requests regarding the availability, you can just send an email, because I'm not I don't know what's going on, for example, in Italy and in some countries in Europe. But if you send an email, we will definitely connect you with the right person in order to get all these information. Yes, talking about installation on like the clamps on how to install the panels. Yeah, definitely you can install our panels on the long side and short side. For sure, we need at the end of the day, we need to respect the loads, because, for example, in Nordic countries we have heavy snow. and we need to respect where to place also the clamping zone. There's always an ideal spot. Like this is the case when we produce the panels. We do kind of dynamic load testing, and this dynamic load testing tell us in this spot this will be the sweet point, the ideal point or place to place the clamps. But yeah, it's allowed. If you go to our installation manual, try just to go to our website and install and download it. You can see all the, let's say, the installation methods we have. Yeah, and this is basically for the small panels. For the big panels, 72, this needs maybe let's say this needs a special mounting system. You may need like a third rail or third foot in order to have a good distribution for the load. But for the 54, you can do it on both sides, long and short side. Definitely, if we're talking about double glass panels, all our panels, the double glass panels are holding fire class A according to the IEC standards. So maybe you have, so someone is saying that he cannot see it on the datasheet. I'm not sure if you have a monoglass version, but anyway, if you go to our website and try just to download the most updated version there, and it will be showing Fire Class A. Okay, I will share. I think if you send an email, someone is asking to whom to send an email. So maybe you can send an email to the info email we have on our website. Can you help me, Alex, just to put it in the chat so the guys they can just basically send these kind of inquiries to the email, to general email, and we will try to guide you to the right person to answer the questions regarding the availability and the stock in your region. Yes, definitely. Someone is asking, Jacom, if we will be presenting and showing our Gen3 panels in Munich and Intersolar. Yeah, definitely. So in May, I think second week of May, there's Intersolar in Munich, and we will be showing the Gen3 products there. So just you're feel free to stop by, and you're welcome to see it and touch it and have more discussion about it. Someone is asking Barry if we are willing to have approval on the Gen 3 from the European roof system. Yeah, definitely. So this is something essential. Like for example, in UK, we need to get the MCS approval, and the same thing for France. There's a required approval. Basically, the installers they cannot just put these panels on someone's house roof without getting this approval. So all these essential, I would say, requirements, essential certificates, we take care of them. Ahead of time, because once the panel is available in your market, definitely you can buy it and install it. And if you before you basically do this step, you can cross check with the distributor, and he can provide you with these proof and certificates. One question regarding the GSE roof system. Luckily, I'm also taking part of of this certificate, and we have done this test. GSE, I think it's related to It's a French certificate. They have tested our panels actually, and we passed the test, and we will get the report soon. So if you send an email to the asking for the GSE certificate, I think within 2 weeks we can share it with you. But the result was positive, and we are just waiting the report to be handled to us. Someone is asking if the full black will be reaching 485. Maybe by the end of this year. So the maximum, as we have seen now, 475. But maybe we will be also improving the power a bit, because now this is the first batch of our production. Normally, after a few months, there's a chance to increase the power output slightly. Okay, thanks, Barry. Distributor example Germany. Someone is asking for Thomas for German and Austrian. So I think Carnish is Carnish and Bivar. So again, for these stock availability distributors, just send an email to the email we have just now put in the chat, and we will try to answer it and guide you to the right person, to the right
For
distributor.
Germany, apologies for Germany, let me just add. So for Germany, it's Memodo, Stegesol, Densys PV5, Tree Energy, Cgen, as well as Kranich, Solarmarkt, Energy 3000, and Ökotin Solar in Austria and Switzerland.
Thank you, Alex. And maybe it was a lot for them. Maybe you can also write the names in the chat for the guy. But again, anyone is interested in the stock and from where you can get it, just try to send us an email, and we will provide you with the details. GSE.
Actually, no need to write us. We have all the questions. We have your email addresses, so we can follow up tonight. No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. One question from UK regarding GSE. Actually, I'm not sure regarding the MC, the new certification. I think it's we need to wait. This is according to what I got informed. We need just to wait a few months to know what's the strategy, what's the new guidelines, because I know there's a new regulation in terms of roof safety and fire safety. So just waiting the new guidelines, and we'll try to fulfill and do, let's say, follow the requirements. Yeah, at the end, I would like to thank all of you again for joining the lunch of Gen3. And just feel free to drop your question, send it to us, and we'll try to answer you. And I'm not sure, Alex, do you want to add something from your side?
No, thank you very much for attending.
Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.